welcome back. We're taking a break from the Ford build because we got to do some upgrades on the old 51. And those upgrades, they're not really performance, but they're going to allow us to do some things. And what that is we've got these two 700s here, and we like to go riding a decent amount. We really want to go to the dunes, but we want to take the 700s and we want to take the 51. So I test fit the 700s up on here a few weeks back, and they fit. They fit really well, actually. One right in front of the suspension, one right behind the suspension. The only problem is I don't have a way to tie them down. I don't really have a way to load it. When I loaded it, I used my 6-foot ramps onto my car trailer, and then from the car trailer onto the bed. That's not really gonna work, so we're gonna have to make some ramps, and I need to put these mounts down. So I gotta reinforce the bed a little bit and add these. And the other side of it is, when I put this thing together, I didn't really set it up to haul, so we're gonna have to either add a bunch of preload or change out some coils in the back, because when we loaded it up, it was basically sitting on the tires. I mean, there was a little bit of a gap, but that's it. So we're gonna get this thing kind of wrapped up so we can haul the quads on the back. Maybe run it over the dunes with the quads on it. I don't know, we'll find out. And what I have are these little D-rings, you know, they kind of drop down in, and they come with these reinforcement plates. The only problem is, I mean, these are great when you have a solid floor, but this is the original tongue and groove wood bed. So this is a 1951. This wood bed is 70 years old, and it's tongue and groove and really cool, but it's very dry and it's somewhat brittle. I had to replace some pieces in the back here. Like this is a newer piece I had to add in, and it's kind of weathered, but I don't want to bust this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a big piece of plywood to kind of grab more than just 3 boards, because this is pretty narrow. Put a big piece of plywood here, put that underneath, then put this all the way underneath that, and then this on top. And that should reinforce this whole bed, like where these are pulling from, so I don't just blow the wood bed apart. Because as much as I want to haul these things on the back, because that's badass, like, I don't think anyone is, like, you're not going to see that anywhere. A 51 dually hauling 2 Raptor 700s on the back. But I don't want to mess the bed up. So I got to do all I can to make sure that 7-year-old wood bed doesn't just split as soon as I ratchet these things down. So I'm going to cut some plywood and then hole saw some big holes here for these, which is going to hurt me a little bit. I like this bed a lot, but it's got to be done. So I went and did it. Cut the hole. So this will sit down in here just like this. And then underneath I have this board, which seats up just like that, and that actually straddles the 2 reinforcements down here. There's one, you can kind of see it, and there's the other. And then on the very, very bottom, underneath the plywood, this plate will go. So when it's pulling up, it's pulling on this whole area, which, as you can see, we sit it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards. And I might actually go up and drill it through this cross member that's here and here, and come into the side, pre-drill it, and screw it to tie it down even more. But I think this is going to work. Get this one bolted in. If I'm happy with it, I just have 3 more to make. Alright, that's bolted in. It's pretty solid. Underneath here, it's reinforced from side to side. It's got the plate just in case. And then it goes in. So I think that's going to work. It's pretty solid. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's reinforced. So time to make 3 more, and then we can make some ramps and load them up on here and go drive this thing. Hell yeah. In case you were wondering exactly how much travel this thing has and what 14 inches of travel looks like, this is jacked all the way up. So the shocks are fully extended at this height. And I mean, it's tall. Like, it's very, very tall. And this thing is not normally this tall. But that's full droop on here. I mean, that is a monstrous gap. But I got it jacked up because I want to pull the rear shocks out, and I'm going to swap one of the coils to a stiffer coil so it doesn't squat as much, and it'll haul the weight a little bit better. Both coilovers are out, and this is what we're dealing with. So these are 14-inch travel, I think 8125 Bilsteins. They're pretty badass. And what we've got is a 130 and a 110 coil. I'd like to swap this to a 180. But I don't have a 180, I have a 200, so we're going to put the 200 in place of the 130. That'll raise the rear up a little bit. It'll make it a little bit stiffer, so it should hold the weight a little bit better. And to counteract that, what we did was I had these jam nuts here, which locks out the softer upper spring. I had them pretty much locked out at curb. So going down the road, as it came up, it was working all off this spring. But if it traveled down and then came back up, it was on a softer rate. So I think we'll put the stiffer coil in here. We might move these up a little bit just to get a little bit more of a progressive rate. Because I think if we move the slider up and we run off both coils, it'll be soft enough that I think the ride quality will be preserved. And I think it'll carry the weight. Little 130s are out. 200s are in. Move the adjusters up 3 inches, which should be about an inch over curb ride height. So it'll have 1 inch of up travel before it transitions just to the stiffer spring instead of the combo of both of them, the softer combo of both of them. So throw them back in, set it back down on its weight, see where it sits, call it good. Whew. This is long.
Yeah.
All right, ramps are made. This seems a little sketchy now. Short was like sketchy because I was like afraid of wheeling. Now I'm just afraid of falling off.
Perfect.
That was pretty easy, actually. The rear is more difficult because I gotta like jog around these shock mounts, but I'm happy with that. Let's see if I can do it twice. Trickier because of the shocks, but
yeah, it was catching the tire a little bit there too.
I know a good sight between here and then that coil, but it works.
Looks good.
We got them loaded up. They're all strapped down tight. Ramps are in the middle, so they seem like they're pretty good. So let's go for a test drive and see how this thing does. It's pretty low, but it's still got some down travel and it's soft. So let's go for a drive, see how it does. Well, it could really use a rear sway bar.
Yeah, I would say so.
That extra like 700 pounds on the back.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we've driven this thing.
What a long time.
I know. It's definitely the coldest it's ever been driven in. double clutch there. I don't have to.
It's a hard habit to break once you start it.
Like 17? Yeah, I don't know what it was. She woke up there. like 17 again.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it is very weird. I don't know.
Feels strong though.
It's very strong.
She runs out.
She's good. She's good.
Like a freight train, Jesus.
I mean, I've had this visual in the back of my head ever since we built this truck. Was this thing ripping around under boost with 2 quads on the back, just be like, yeah, we like to party. And it's doing it. It's doing it really well.
Hell yeah.